Bienvenidos todos a la sesión semanal que hacemos de Pitch to Investors en ITNIC. Hemos hecho una pequeña pausa por Navidades, pero lo hacemos cada jueves, presencialmente, si nos permiten, y remotamente para los demás. Breve introducción de quiénes somos. En ITNIC hemos empezado varias compañías, entre las que están Kipu, Camalún y Factorial, que son tres compañías que ahora mismo estamos ejecutando y creciendo y que han nacido en ITNIC, y además hace un año y pico empezamos a invertir en empresas gestionadas y lideradas por equipos totalmente independientes de nosotros, donde tenemos un rol de business angel o de pequeño fondo que entra en fases muy tempranas. Nos gusta invertir más o menos unos 100.000 euros, 150.000 euros al principio de la vida de la compañía, y buscamos siempre mercados muy grandes, equipos muy ambiciosos y complementarios y que demuestren cierto tipo de ejecución. Entonces, en este evento vamos a tener unos cuantos proyectos que vais a presentar, tanto presencialmente como remoto, y después de cada pitch, que durará 3 minutos, tendremos una pequeña ronda de preguntas de parte de nosotros y de la audiencia, y finalmente daremos un pequeño feedback que incluirá una invitación a seguir hablando, si creemos que puede haber un encaje para potencialmente invertir como ITNIC o no. El feedback intentamos que sea útil, sincero y completo, pero no siempre es positivo, con lo cual pues preparados para sea lo que sea. El formato, como digo, 3 minutos de presentación, Q&A, feedback. No damos opción a rebatir el feedback porque si no nos estaríamos hasta las 1000 y tenemos varios proyectos hoy. Así que empezamos con el primer proyecto, que voy a tener que buscar cuál es. Lo tengo a mano. Aquí lo tengo. No. Aquí. Primer proyecto de hoy es Blanca Contreras, que nos va a hablar de Trusty y está en la oficina. Blanca, ¿estás ahí? Pues adelante, 3 minutos.
¿Estamos ahí bien o...?
¿Podemos sacarlo?
Bueno, he venido acompañada con mi partner Dovani y va a empezar él.
Está bien. Bueno, lo vamos a hacer en inglés para que sea un poco más dinámico el tema. Hello everybody, we are Blanca and Dovani, and our project is Trusty. How many times have you recommended things to your friends or family members because you love a product or service? I'm going to assume that the answer is yes. 83% of Americans are more interested in purchasing a product if this one is recommended by someone they know. In the other hand, many companies have referral programs, but do these programs really work? According to the Source Entrepreneur, Airbnb referral program helps them to increase the volume of customers each year almost the double. So it is proof that referral programs help companies to increase the number of clients by the pass of the years. However, there are many reasons why referral programs fail. The first one is there is a lack of promotion and communication with the referral programs. Second, they are making the users do too much work. It is too complicated to redeem. And third, the incentives, they have bad incentives for the users. So in summary, referral programs work, but companies could make it better. That is why we create Trusty, the first referral app that helped companies to promote and communicate the referral programs, make the process to redeem easier, and maximize the benefits of the user in a cash wallet.
So how it works? Satisfied clients refer potential customers through the app and obtain a cash incentive in return. The referral user receives or obtain a coupon or discount to apply in his purchase, and after all, Trusty receives a commission for helping the companies with all the process and with all the tracking of the customer. So far, we have done extensive market research, and we found that there is a potential market size of $1.5 billion in transactions in the United States. And now we are designing our MVP in order to start having traction with real users. Who is behind this idea? We are a multidisciplinary team with different academic backgrounds and with expertise in financial services, in sales strategy, in project management, digital marketing, and IT. And we also have previous entrepreneurial experience as co-founders of a logistic mobile app with a current annual revenue of 1.5 million, of 1 million in less than 3 years. And we strongly believe that our team could make this project successful. Trusty has the potential to become the next unicorn, and that is why we are here looking for our initial investment of 100,000 euros, which will be invested in software development, marketing, and sales. Hope we caught your attention and your interest, and are you on board of our Trusty community?
Please, if you have further questions, just let us know.
Perfect. Thank you for the presentation. So anybody in the audience or on the table want to ask questions, feel free.
I do. I have a question. I'm Bernat, CEO at Itnic. I didn't present myself. So you are building an affiliation tool, a referral tool, no? If I understood it properly?
Yes, it is a mobile app where you can refer a product or a service of a company you are a client. I mean, if you are a client of a company, you can refer something that you like to someone you trust. I mean, to a friend or family, and receive benefits in return.
Mm-hmm.
So mostly what we are trying to do is to consolidate, to make an app that consolidates all referral programs. What we just see is that there are many, like, for example, you have a referral program of your credit card, but you never use it. Why? Because it's too complicated to redeem. So what we are trying to do is consolidate all the referral programs that you have, and you are a customer of these companies. For example, you have a credit card and your bank has a referral program. Then you have an airline that also has a referral program, but you never redeem those referral programs. You are an actual customer, but you never redeem. Why you never redeem? Because there is a lack of promotion, you never know. So what we are trying to do is consolidate and make it easier to redeem for the user. And also, if you consolidate all the programs, you will have more value to redeem because you are going to get more incentives and more benefits. You can cash out that in one wallet. So the idea is to have the money that you receive for that incentives could consolidate it in a wallet. And you can use it in the ecosystem to consume. It could be in the same brands or also in new products or services.
So the use case that you assume is that I hear about you, and then what I do now is I download the app, waiting for some referral program to
yes.
me.
Previously, what we are expecting to do of how we want to merchandise it is we want to go to the companies and talk with them and explain to them that we have this app so that they could offer the referral programs in our app. So what we are trying to do in the first instance of the company is to do a B2B business first relationship with the companies like banks, insurance, or we already target some industries that we wanna work with in the first instance of the app.
I'm not asking about the B2B side, which is obvious. Everybody wants customers. That's a rule of life. But the question is, I'm a normal user. I'm a consumer. Am I going to download an app to be targeted by referral programs of other people? I mean, that is the weak side of this kind of business, which, by the way, existed for the last 20 years. Right now, nothing changed that make this kind of business new. If I understand it properly. The weak part is how do you activate the consumer, which we have lots of apps in our cell phone, to download an app to be targeted by advertisers.
Mm-hmm. Yes, basically what we think about our model is that there is a lot of brands and a lot of companies that you are already a customer and that you really like the product. The first instance that we have, what we are doing is we are trying to work on the concept of word of mouth, that you refer things that you like and you are convinced. So in a first instance, to download the app, you can join to the referral program of your preference. For example, if you love American Express because you are super engaged with the brand. So you can join to that referral program that you are already a customer and maximize those benefits through us, because it's going to be easy to redeem, and you can also share the brand you love to the person, to the people you love. And actually, I have a super extreme concept that most of the social media, for example, Instagram, Facebook, and all the social media, they use you as a product because you are targeted to receive communication, promotion, or information. But in our case, you don't receive benefits just to sharing as an influencer or because you post your favorite restaurant or your favorite brand. You are not receiving money about that. But in with our app, you can receive benefits. You can actually monetize and receive benefits. So there is the part where we find value for the users, that instead of just posting a photo of the restaurant, do not receive anything, you can actually cash the referrals of the things you like. So that will be like the main concept about in the marketing way, in the market that we could market.
So to complete Giovanni's answer, we know that there is a barrier that people don't want to download a mobile app, but this is why we consider that there must be a wallet in the app in order to the user have together all their benefits in a single wallet and cash out to his bank account. So this is our incentive for the users to download the mobile app.
Any questions?
Anybody in the audience? In what stage you are now? What stage you are now? You are two in the team, and do you have the app already developed? Or?
Yeah, we already we already did a market research in currently some part, like I'm living in the United States, I'm living in Florida, so I am in charge of doing the market research there. And also we are now starting our first MVP. And that's where we're looking investment, because we already make a business plan and we already know what will be like the expenses to build the app and develop. So our first.
And we are ready to start developing. So we have done extensive meetings with other IT partners, and we are ready for starting developing the app.
Yeah.
What's your background? You are both.
Yes. Well, my academic background, I have an MBA, and also a Bachelor of International Business. I'm from Ecuador, but I'm living in the United States right now. And well, Blanca, it's more. She comes from the tech industry. She's a biomedical engineer, and also she has a project manager master, and also the other co-founder, he's based on Ecuador. He is a master in digital marketing, and right now we are trying to join a tech partner mostly for the development of the app.
Okay, yep. Thank you.
No more questions?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. Thank you. I was just gonna ask, how I guess what's your plan to find not the business partners, but the customers or clients who will be using your app? I mean, how are you planning to get people on, sign up with it?
Well, in the initial investment is considered a part for marketing campaigns. We also have one of the partners of the company that is specialized in digital marketing. So he will in charge of defining and identifying the target audience we already have done this process of identifying the target audience, but of course, after developing the app, we will do this more extensive, and of course we will have to do digital marketing campaigns.
In addition, I would like to. That's actually a really good question. We are trying also like doing a lot of partnership with big companies. Why? Because in the United States, it's a huge market that it's proof that referral programs work. So what we are trying to do is also find brands that already have an extensive, massive quantity of clients where we can also, that will be easy to them to join to our app to redeem the benefits. So it's a good, even though we are gonna target it and we're gonna do marketing campaigns so people can download the app, we are also making partnership with companies that already have established a referral program. So it will be more easy to us to have new users as well. To grow faster. Because big brands, give you more clients and more customers and also more downloads.
And have consolidated referral programs, and people in the United States already know that these programs exist, and will be easier for us to catch these users.
I think we run out of time for questions. So somebody from the table wants to start with a quick round of feedback. I don't see you, so better say yes.
I wonder if I download the app and I'm a user, how many times do you expect me to use it during the day or during the week?
As long as your referral program let you. It's gonna depend of the terms and conditions of the program they have. So what we are trying to do is make it easier to redeem, but that is gonna depend of what we can get of the company to give you the incentive.
And additionally, depends on how many things you want to refer. I mean,
but what do you expect the user to how many times do you expect them to use the app?
As much as possible. That is the stat that like people probably redeem once a year, but that's the reason we're creating the app, because they are not redeeming as much as we want. So we know that there's a potential in that side.
The thing is that if you can obtain cash benefits or cash incentives in return, it's easier for the user to use these referral programs. And as Dovani said, people usually use these referral programs once per year, for example, and our objective is to the users do it in more times.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No.
Briefly, we're going to give you feedback. So I guess that's why you came here. We give feedback. We don't have the truth, so we have our own opinion. Me particularly, I've been listening to this business model for the last 15 years and repeatedly. And as I was saying before, I don't see any technological change or anything that makes now this kind of business possible. I personally know like a couple of or three founders who started this kind of business there on their own. And what they learned is two things. One, if you want to sell through the social media, you're going to face competition of the carriers, of the social networks, because that's their very business model. So they won't allow you to create your own outlet on top of their social media to sell. If you are out of the social media and if you're trying to sell directly to customers, so you're basically a commercial, you don't have enough incentive to motivate people to act as commercial people and download this app and proactively be contacting people. So what I've realized is that these kind of businesses, which, as I said, they appeared in the last 15 years over and over, they couldn't make it. Even 21 Buttons here that is very targeted in fashion, and they created kind of their own social network, is having big trouble on motivating people to sell through them and not directly to the brands. So that's why I have this obstacle. No, I don't see these kind of business models work in the past, so I don't see why this should change now. That's why I would not invest. I don't know if you have.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hear you, but I think I heard my name. So on top of what Bernat said about the business itself, the platform risk and the very low margins that this business potentially has, there are a couple of things that I think are very important for early stage companies. And one of them is having the ability to actually create the technology that will make a difference in the team somehow, not depending on a technological partner. So that's a big minus for me. And the other one is not depending on big company partnerships, because it's very hard to, first of all, get these partnerships or get the attention from very large companies. But even when you do, it's extremely hard to execute fast enough. And, most of these partnerships end up in a graveyard. So combined with the core business reflection that Bernat did, I would add these two, and that would make me not want to look further into the project.
Okay.
But thanks for coming and good luck. And as always, we hope we're wrong. Perfect. Next up, we have Adam Barbera from Dost, who is also in situ. Go ahead, Adam, and we'll try to stick to the 5 minutes maximum for the Q&A.
So I can do it without the mask, right? Sure. Okay. All right. So hello everyone. So we are Dost, and we are developing an enterprise digital accountant that can perform the same actions and take the same decisions as a human being. So we help freelancers and SMBs to reduce cost, to reduce human error, to reduce the time processing invoices and doing accounting. So, and we do that by leveraging conversational AI, robotic process automation, and artificial intelligence for data extraction and decision making. So we compete now in the Spanish market, where there are about 2 million freelancers and small companies. And based on our pricing, we estimate that we could get up to 2,000 million euros if we got all the market, of course. So we know that we might be similar to companies like UiPath or Automation Anywhere, or even Microsoft and IBM that just last year acquired RPA companies. But they provide the tools for you to create automation. And what we deliver is a plug and play role-based software robot with AI and automation built in. Additionally, we know that there's a lot of accounting software, but we are not the accounting tool, we are the accountant. So we could even be complementary. And at the end of the day, we are aiming to eliminate our biggest competitor, which is the traditional accountant. So we have a working prototype in a customer, and we are being paid for it. And we have many other users interested in our digital accountant. We are 3 partners. Unfortunately, they are not here with us today. Well, I'm just myself. We have Nakash Abbasi, who is our expert in AI. We have Fernando Martin, who looks after marketing and sales, myself, and a team of 3 developers. And I know that you invest just up to 100,000 euros or 150. But we, in total, we're looking for 400,000 euros to invest in product development, online marketing, and to expand our reach into the market. So I just want to say my last few words that you probably know, and that the AI revolution is really happening, it's taking place, and I hope you want to join us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Adam. Really good pitch. I have a question to begin with. Why freelancers? Why do you build all of this technology to go sell to the poorest software buyers out there.
To whom, sorry?
Freelancers.
Why freelancers?
Yeah.
Why freelancers is, well, the story behind all this is because our project, well, our main idea was too broad, so we had to narrow it down. And it's, yeah, so we eventually realized that that there is, well, let's say it's easier, or it can provide more help to freelancers now at the beginning. Now I think we lost you. But yeah, so
I still hear you. Huh? You don't see me, but I'm there.
So we don't want just to be, you know, targeting freelancers, but it's where we think that we need to start. I mean, what we have done to get to this conclusion, we have, and we are still doing some interviews to customers, and we have been interviewing freelancers and also small companies. So that's the reason why we.
The problem, and I want to follow up on the question, the problem with freelancers and very small companies is that their accounting is actually very simple. I don't think you need a lot of AI to do that. They basically pay accountants to kind of file taxes and do compliance stuff. And I don't know if you plan on doing that, but it's still a very small budget to tap into. So, like,
well,
could the technology serve bigger companies with more money?
Well, I think that you would be really surprised how much money some of the freelancers are paying to their accounting advisors. And we, in our business model, what we are aiming for is to really put it easy for them. So if you are a freelancer and you don't have a lot of invoices, but you still have to pay an accountant for you, because you have to do your declaration of taxes and income and expenses and everything. So we can give it for free, and then if you are using more invoices, then you start paying, and so on and so forth, right? So that's kind of the business model. If you have low volume, it will be cheaper for you. If you have higher volume, it will be more expensive. So that's kind of the business model. And it's not the AI thing is just so because we are aiming to create, let's call it like a city, if you like, right? So that it becomes an extension of you, an assistant of you.
Question.
Yeah.
You say you're not an accounting software, but you're an accountant. Usually an accountant is a combination of a software and a person who does everything from running the numbers to filing the obligations that you have with the government, which mostly the second part more than the first part. No? That's how the market is working. So can you do that? Can you do the tax part?
Not now, but it's in the roadmap to do it, yeah.
So what you are helping the freelance is on making business decisions, if I understood it properly, or?
As well, yeah. So what we aim, what our objective is to provide the freelancer or the small company, so an assistant, an accountant that they can talk to them, they can talk to the accountant, they can ask questions, they can so they don't need to worry about accounting or sending the invoices to the accountant and then paying the accountant, and so it's all easy and it's frictionless.
But what they worry about is paying the taxes. That's all they worry about. That's why they have an accountant. Otherwise, they wouldn't have an accountant.
Yeah, they have an accountant, but they still have to worry
about the taxes.
About the taxes and about sending all the information to the accountant, all the invoices, and.
But so, they send the information for them to pay the taxes.
Yes, yes.
So, but you don't do the taxes?
Not at the moment. It's on the roadmap to be developed, yeah.
I fail to understand what there is at the moment. I didn't understand. what are you offering? What exactly you're offering to a freelance at the moment? Let's say a mechanic. They have, the business, and what would they come to you for? What's the pain you're solving, and how much they would pay for it?
Well, so now we are giving it for free for now for customers that want to join us, and basically, so we have started with this really small prototype, where we basically we get all the invoices that from customers, from providers. Then we do a bank reconciliation, and then we tell you if you are missing an invoice, or you are missing a payment, or you have to claim an invoice, or what are your customers, what are your top 10 customers, what's your revenue. I know that it sounds like an accounting software, but we are not giving the burden to the freelance, to that customer, to be entering manually data into any software. So they just drop the invoices in one place, and then everything it's done so far.
By the way, disclaimer: you know that we are the founders of Kipu.
I know. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's why I said so. We are not the accounting software, and actually, if you ask me, we could be on top of this kind of software at some point. So we had to start somewhere small, and then grow. So that's where we wanted to start. Because if we start doing integrations with this software and that software, and then it's going to become too big. And there's a lot of software out there.
So we move to feedback then.
Okay.
I think that the market is going where you're heading. I mean, you are definitely going to the right direction. But the problem that we faced building Kipu, which we also wanted to automate all those things, and not just us. I mean, every invoicing software that became administrative software. So let's say invoicing softwares started 10 years ago. Then they went to the workflows, to manage the workflows and automate as much as possible. And the next wave is AI. The problem with the current trend of AI in this kind of administrative work is the government. It is so complicated to file the taxes, which is the main problem that the freelancers have, because they have a very poor accounting. They don't care that much about the accounting. They don't care about. They don't make so much business decisions. They don't have that much of business decisions to be made. But what they worry about is that they have to pay IVA.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the right time, because they get a fine.
Yeah.
So that's their concern. That's what gets them look for something. And they get an accountant because the government is so broken, the way you pay taxes is so broken, that you need somebody to master this bureaucracy, which, by the way, changes every 6 months sometimes. And you need an expert to manage all this bureaucracy. And there are 80,000 accountants in Spain. And what we realize is that this is not going to change in the short term. Not because the market is not heading there, it's not going there. It's because we are making it so complicated. I mean, the government in Europe, not just in Spain, but also in France, in Italy, it's so complicated, it's so bureaucratic that we cannot automate it. We don't have an interface which we can connect. If you're going to the business decisions, that's more and especially for freelancers, that's more the space of personal finance. You have Fintonics and this kind of services, which try to make better decisions. But as Jordi was saying, the field, the green field for automation at the moment, which is thriving, is everywhere from mid-market to enterprise. So that space.
I don't agree, but that's okay.
That's what we are seeing in the market. I mean, there are many players that are appearing and they are growing in RPA, doing automation. in mid-market and enterprise. We don't see a player in SMB, but of course it's something that if it happens, it's a huge opportunity.
So I come from the enterprise space, enterprise software, and there's obviously a lot of players, and yeah, they are dominating the market. That's where the business is, right? But there's a business with the SAPs, with the HR tools, with the IT tools. Yeah, that's where we actually wanted to start, right? But there's already some players, and big companies, they have big budgets, they can build stuff, they have IT to maintain it, so they can do it. Mid-market below, there's no capability. So people cannot automate things, they cannot build things, so you have to have something ready to go and build. So
I'm really interested in the space, so I would be happy to follow up. If you show me how you're solving the problem to 10 freelancers who are paying you 30 euros a month, which is the average price for this space, for a zero Intuit, it's their ARPUs at the moment. If they're paying you 30 euros a month for this kind of tool, I would be happy to follow up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll build on some of what Bernat said. So quickly, what I really like, I think you have a pretty good team setup from what I can see also online. I think the technology you're building on is definitely the future and a multi-billion-dollar industry, so definitely the right industry to be in. Your preach was pretty good, but I think that you're selling to a very lousy market, which are freelancers with very little budget, and also you're trying to fix a problem they don't really have, in my opinion, because their problems are more in the compliance and not so much in this classification and understanding of what's going on. So if you realize, or if you come to a similar conclusion and you find a different segment of the market and you find a really well-defined problem, I would be really interested in knowing more about the team and the business. If you really insist in being the accountant for freelancers, we didn't even talk about cost of acquisition for customers, which is not free. And for these very low tickets, it's going to be very, very, very hard to make it sustainable. So in my opinion, if you change, problem to solve and audience to solve it too, I would be interested. In the meantime, I would pass.
Okay.
Hi, Charlie. This particular segment, you got 5,000 freelancers. I tell you, we've been spending a lot of money in this market.
Okay.
In my case, I don't care about the business model. I don't care about the go-to-the-market. If you show me that you have disruptive technology and can really solve the problem, I'm interested. But show me the technology, show me the AI behind it, and show me it works and it solves the real problem. The rest will come later.
Yeah, that's one of the points that we have to check here, that maybe it's over relying in the AI capacities. I mean, for the individual that he's handling their finances with the software, a problem, a mistake, it's dramatic. I mean, AI is very good for massive processes, but still some of these technologies are wrong. I mean, even Siri gets wrong answers sometimes. So it's maybe relying too much in AI. In some kind of middle market, there's somebody that is checking out and doing this final job. But here, it's not clear, I think. I mean, we would like to be in this phase of technology, but I don't know if we are in this phase, in this step. But it's a good direction, obviously.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I think next up we have Victor and Sybil, I don't know if I said that right, who are here on Zoom to talk about Bloom.
Hi, can you hear us?
Welcome, yes, you have 3 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello, guys.
Hi. Hi, good evening. My name is Sybil. I am from Barcelona, and this is Victor, my partner from Paris. We just came back from California, where we spent the last 4 years creating and running our business in the food industry.
At some point, I was diagnosed with cancer that was luckily caught on time, but that was a trigger to switch to a very different lifestyle and to realize that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. When it comes to prevention, Sybil helped me a lot because she remained very positive along the way. And she asked me to take a bunch of wellness tests and also spend a lot of time looking for the best supplements to help my body fight its enemies, whether it be food deficiencies, heavy metals, stress, lack of vitamin D, and so on. But to be honest, it turned out difficult and very expensive to find products really adapted to my needs.
It is true that in the United States, some companies start to innovate through personalization, but here in Europe, the offer is complex and not really adapted to a non-expert customer.
This is why we decided to create Bloom, a mobile application to help people monitor and improve their health goals in a very user-friendly and personalized way. All of this in a context of strong market growth, both for online supplements, about 10% a year, and for personalized nutrition, which is expected to grow about 500% in the next 5 years. So what is Bloom? Bloom is a unique digital nutrition platform offering first personalized vitamins and health recommendations based on the benefits of the Mediterranean diet.
And second, at-home testing kits to track the most important health markers.
So now, how do the vitamins work? So they're based on an online questionnaire about people's diet, lifestyle, and health goals. We then use a proprietary methodology and algorithm to provide personalized health recommendations and build a custom multivitamin tailored to our customers' needs. This multivitamin is delivered right to your door every month through a monthly subscription that is going to cost about 30 euros a month. And as you can see on this little sample here, we use Fluffit technology, mixing liquids and solids in every capsule, allowing us to adapt to the vitamin part a patented mix called Bloom Essential, combining omega-3 with the best antioxidants of the Mediterranean diet. It's important to say that we only use best quality ingredients from the Mediterranean area, which means 100% local, natural, and vegan, that are backed by an independent scientific advisory board and that are completely traceable on the website. Finally, we give a percentage of every subscription to an association called Vitamin Angels in order to provide vitamins to a child in need for a month.
Okay, and home testing, how does it work? You can buy the test online and it allows the user to check from home the different levels of vitamins and other important hormones like cortisol. This is the kind of technology that we want to patent. It's a urine test through a QR code that would be that you can see here. You can read the results immediately and get the health recommendations through the app. You can buy one or more to track your progress. The cost is around 10 euros. And the results can be used to personalize even more the supplement plan.
So that's how Bloom works. Thank you.
Thanks for presenting. Questions in the audience? I'll start before somebody gathers one. So you have the test which costs 10 euro, but what's the rest of the revenue stream? Are there subscriptions to the vitamins? Do you pay for using the app? What are the margins? So how does the P&L look like a little bit?
Yes, exactly. So it's going by subscription for the vitamin part, so monthly subscriptions. This is our core business. The tests are optional, so you can buy them like single tests, 10 euros every test. You can also opt for a subscription, but it's just a second option. And then so about the revenue stream and the margins. So we're still working on it because it's important to say that at that point it's early stage. I mean, we're still at the ID, you know, like work on the ID. We've been in touch with different laboratories to start working both on the test cards and on the personalized vitamins. But we're still working on the business plan. So it's not like we're not ready to implement our products on the market right now.
Hi. What are you looking for? Why are you pitching?
We're looking for a first-time investment in the company in order to move to the next steps until being able to get to MVP. So that means finding a structure that will both invest money in the business and also be able to support us in every phase, in every step of the development of the business. So this is what we're looking for. I don't know if I'm answering to your question precisely or not.
How much?
We believe that we're going to need around 400K to get there. We know that there is a lot of R&D for the test cards. We've been in touch with an English laboratory, and we estimate that it's going to cost between 200 and 250K to get the test cards ready and patented. So, yeah, it's an important initial investment. We're aware of it. Yeah.
So if I understood it right, the use case here is I'm a person who's concerned about health, and I download your app, and I enroll into a service that costs me 30 euros a month.
Mm-hmm.
30 euros a month, is that right?
Yeah, that's it, more or less, yeah.
30 euros a month, and with this 30 euros a month, I get recommendations on what to eat in order to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the multivitamin.
And a box with something like this, and you'll get 60 capsules of vitamins. So that's 2 capsules a day. So you'll get your dose of personalized vitamins during a month. And those vitamins will include exactly what you need, because you're going to answer a precise questionnaire on the website for us to know what are your needs, what does exactly your body need, and you're going to get this every month right to your door.
But I still have to eat, no?
Yeah.
You have to eat. Actually, the pills are based on a Mediterranean diet. So we want our product to be like not like a supplement, not a 100% like you stop eating. It's a supplement.
So it's something like Supradin, but with a customized.
No?
Yeah, like these things that you see in the pharmacies.
It's vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, omega-3s, and probiotics, basically, yeah. So it's supplementation, 100%.
But this concept exists. So the new thing is that you customize the blend, I guess.
Exactly.
With the situation of the person, and you have this test device.
Exactly. And plus it's based on the Mediterranean diet. So.
Yeah, so only local ingredients. I mean, it's a strong part of our identity as well. But yeah, you got it right.
You say you're in a very early stage, but you already have a couple of patents, if I understood it properly, or not?
No. Our goal is to patent the test cards and some of the products, including some proprietary mixes, but we don't have it yet, and we're just in touch with laboratories to get there, so not yet.
Thank you. Just a quick question. So if a customer has a health problem and is looking for something like this, why should they trust you? I guess what's your way to convince them to use your product?
Yeah, it's a very good question. First off, we want to work closely with, as I said before, with an independent scientific advisory board. So we're going to look like for renowned nutritionists and doctors here in Spain or even in Europe to validate our concept and every step of the business, and obviously to validate the health recommendations that are directly related to the answers that you're going to give to our questionnaire. So part of our legitimacy will come from this advisory board.
Plus we don't aim to resolve like health conditions.
It's more about wellness than health, of course. I mean, this is like for you to feel better in your body. It basically answers to one issue that we all share today, that the food quality is really poorer than before. So even if you eat well, you're not going to get the same vitamins and all the micronutrients that you really need because of this poor food quality, because of sometimes of a poor lifestyle too, the stress, the lack of sleep, the lack of energy, the lack of free time, the lack of sun. It is proven that even in Spain, that is a very sunny country, almost 50% of young people lack vitamin D, which is essential to your body, and we know this even more during the pandemic, because it's a very, very important vitamin to protect your body against external disease, virus. So we are exposed to a wide range of pollutions and of external contaminations. So we want to help people get the right nutriments in order to just to feel better.
Cool, thanks. I think we ran out of time for questions, so we'll do a quick round of feedback. I'll start myself. I definitely think there is a huge market for supplements, vitamins, or how this category is called, and I think there is space for a direct-to-consumer digital native brand, that can make a lot of money if executes this globally, like sunglass companies have done, and so on and so forth. But I'm not sure that this whole complication of the test device, you don't seem to have already the ability to manufacture and to own the IP to create these supplements, and then this requires a huge branding and go-to-market effort to acquire customers cheaply. So I think there is a lot to be figured out. I like the direction of the idea, but I think maybe there are a couple of iterations to be done before considering an investment. So maybe stay in touch and reconnect in the future once you have a little bit more an idea on how to get the customers and maybe streamline the business idea.
Yes, I like the idea. I like the fact that you are independent. I think it's good in this site, and I find it very difficult to promote, but I would like to keep on conversations just in case we could understand a bit more. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that's it. Thank you, guys. Good luck,
right,
and stay in touch. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so I think the last pitch of the day is going to be Bernard, who's going to talk about PB&J. Bernard, okay, now you're here. You need to unmute and enable video, and we're good to go.
I'm unmuted. I'm going to try and get this video rolling. There we go. Good evening. How are you?
Very good. Thanks. Go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
I'm from the USA, living in Slovakia for the past years. My grandparents were immigrants to the States, and I've been an entrepreneur for the past 50 years globally, starting small companies. My methodology has been to observe a problem in a firm, expand my knowledge of the need, and then assess the worth of developing a solution to the problem. I'm looking now at human behavior analytics because it's on the forefront of being used and digitized all over the States and all over the world for many uses. And specific employers have found that identifying a person's skills is far easier than in being able to identify the ability of people to get along with each other in their job, in a team, or working in the company's culture. Our project is about the use of full spectrum digital analysis of human behavior for human capital management in the HR sector. As a quick overview, we're looking at a B2B platform enterprise SaaS that scales globally to fit any culture. And just very quickly, in terms of the market we're looking at to begin with, is the healthcare industry. The TAM, total available market's 11 trillion in the US. SAM, service available, is 1.68 trillion, and some service available, obtainable, market is 74 point some odd billion. Our objective is assisting any customer's CEO via human capital management services to have HR use technically generated behavioral analytics. And these analytics come generally from the foundation of 50 years of psychological testing. And they're now being combined with digital methods of testing to directly get information from people. The way they do that, the way we do that, is to use a device's camera to record and pass through an API facial movements. We join that with a voice tone analysis API. And between those two and some speech to text to context, we can give you a number of different emotions, human behavior emotions, which can be matched to a set of questions we will use in an interview with any of the employees. The interviews are typically 10 to 30 minutes each. And I've devised up to 16 services ranging from covering all major needs of employers, which I've spent 5 years doing research on in any industry. The technology is a meld of IT tech, meaning the architecture and the follow-through work on that, with behavior science tech, which is what people are starting to be highly interested in, with an AI backend. The AI backend provides the ability to resolve a lot of beta testing down into some very simple things we can use in the interviews. I've confirmed the HR needs by speaking with 3 to 5 healthcare CEOs. And in general, I've put my friends and family about 180,000 into this project to research, structure the project, and work with individuals we intend to contract with. We're looking for an agile method of operation to keep the personnel numbers small. We're looking for 150,000 approximately British pounds to begin creating 2 APIs for our project. We verified that the APIs on the marketplace which could perform these abilities have been withdrawn because they are more valuable to the companies that created them. And our behavioral science team of 2, actually 3, have verified we can build better APIs than the companies that previously built them. The companies that previously built them and withdrew them from the market are large companies. I think I didn't mention, I put over 9,000 hours of research, thousands of references to HR pain points to support our service list of 16 different services. I've spent a lot of time with 2 individual tech teams here in Slovakia, having between 50 and 200 software engineers each. 2 behavioral scientists I've spent over a year with, conversations and running certain small experiments in the UK, and 1 overseeing behavioral science professional in the US who heads several large organizations. I've provided for 2 marketing organizations to develop our marketing strategies. They're used to working with AR. There's one competitive firm in the States that started using very, very similar tech, probably some of the stuff we're looking at, about mid-2017. And from 2017 to the end of 2018, they grossed $1,350,000 and using this tech with their old customers. This is an older firm. If you've recently, my last statement, if you've recently read Deloitte's 2020 survey of human capital management, you will find that you can match that to our list of services almost precisely. What Deloitte says CEOs need to be doing and what the CEOs, 2,300 of them, say they need to be doing is exactly what we're in the position to put together. We have not built anything yet. We have the team standing by. We have a number of other things in place that we can move forward with. Our first move is to fund rebuilding 2 APIs.
Thank you, Bernard. We can go through a quick round of questions. Anybody in the audience?
My pleasure.
Hi, I have a question. So you said you built different companies before?
Yes.
What happened?
I built a small manufacturing company for jewelry, small jewelry parts in the States. I did that in 1975. We were able to gross over $5 million in 1975 dollars. That's about 17 million today in the first year and a half. At that point, I backed out of the company. I'd been working 18 hours a day for 2 years. And I backed out of the company and literally gave it to the people who were employed by me. I had 50 people working for me. I have built 3 mortgage firms in the United States, doing residential mortgaging. From that research that I did in building the firms and running the companies, I came up with a 189-page business plan, which at a mortgage brokers convention, I passed on to a vice president of General Electric Capital Corporation, who invited me back to General Electric, at that point in time, the largest company in the world. And their 11-member mortgage board sat down and said they would like to give me my first $5 million to organize in 90 days. And then 50 million. 50 million is the smallest amount they can fund as the company that they were. I've built a couple of NGOs supporting art and artists. I've had real estate projects in Hawaii. It's a veritable list of one of these and one of those. I've done a lot of medical research on cancer curing. I've taken a team, I've financed $1.5 million into a team. This was 5-6 years ago. $1.5 million into a team that I cooperated with a fellow in Colorado who would take a videographer and go from point to point to look at researchers and doctors who said they had something that would help with cancer. And my job, when I took up my job, I volunteered to take a team of 2 or 3 people around the world. We went to the States a couple of times, Argentina, where I did find something that will reduce cancer by about 80% of the people. We couldn't get it out of Argentina. Big problem with the, let's call it the greedy government in Argentina, big problems. And I've just done a number of small projects. I started a small insurance company in Bermuda with an attorney who became a partner of mine. He was on the, his firm was, let me see if I can slow down a little bit. His firm was counsel to the United States Senate Finance Committee. I've always had an attorney partner involved in anything I've done. My partner in this venture is one of the 2 top international tax attorneys in the United States. And he's now heading as the managing director of a firm that they just brought public. He's pretty busy right now.
Bernard, so
yes.
My question was, because, I mean, if for someone who's been a serial entrepreneur and have been leading such so many projects, 150K doesn't seem like a big amount.
It's not. No, I'm looking. Boy. Personally, I used to have a very strong income from natural gas royalties in the United States. Since the Arab OPEC has decided that they'd like to run what we call frac drillers in the United States out of business, which they did, I'm pretty much out of money, flat out of money. And so 150,000 will get us building the first two APIs, which can actually be sold, rented, I should say, as APIs. And overall, I have, gosh, my last spreadsheet was 55 tabs of everything it takes to put this project together. Now, I already identified the people, et cetera, timelines. I've got about 300 different diagrams doing many different functions. And I just need to grab a starting point again. Overall, we're probably going to need 2 to 2.5 million to do everything up through the MVP. We've already done a POC, quite simple, to get up through the MVP, and then probably another 2.5 million to do a full round of beta testing with a couple of companies in the States. States is our primary market because they simply have the greatest number of companies that all speak the same languages. And then last of all, we may need up to 5 million to go into the marketing area after we develop the MVP and do the beta testing.
Anybody in the audience? We probably run out of time for questions, I guess, with this one.
Sorry.
That's okay. So I think we can do a quick round of feedback, and then we can follow up on further topics if it makes sense. I'll start myself. I first of all want to say that you have a fascinating story. Definitely interesting to hear all the stuff that you have achieved. You know, as you might know, we're working on Factorial, which is an all-in-one HR software company that doesn't do any of the stuff that you talked about, but we're definitely aware of the problems and the opportunities that exist in the HR world that can be enabled by technology. We focus on smaller companies and we focus on more of the management side, you know, but we're aware of this trend. I definitely think this is an industry that will exist and that will be large and that will be very profitable. For me personally, to consider an investment in a project like this, we would like to see the team that is building the product themselves and that doesn't have a dependency on potentially finding partners, etc. And you know, other than that, it looks like you have figured out most of the important stuff that this project needs to succeed. But maybe the kind of assets that we like to see in the team include, you know, the ability to actually build a product at the beginning, because it's very hard to come up with this talent, and you know, like, this is definitely something that is critical for us.
Yeah, the teams I've been talking to the past 2 years have been well organized. They do contractual work for people in the States, Switzerland.
So for the sake of time, Bernard, I'm really sorry to cut you off, but we like to do like the feedback and then we wrap it up. And we can, you know, we can follow up via LinkedIn or email afterwards. Don't worry, we will not leave you hanging. But when I mean team, I mean as part of the founding team, you know, as shareholders involved. That would be my opinion. Anybody else on the table?
I just like Jordi said, so we're in the HR space, we're the founders of Factorial, and I personally would be very happy to keep discussing about the problem you're trying to solve. It's definitely interesting to me. We're facing it every day. So let's follow up after this event. Thank you.
I'd be glad to. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Bernard, for the pitch. And I think that's it for today. So I just want to quickly thank everybody who either came to our office or who is connected here via Zoom. As a way to wrap up, you can keep coming to these events on Thursdays or connect digitally. We also have a podcast which airs every Monday morning, and we talk to entrepreneurs about their stories. So, you're welcome to listen to that as well. And we kind of summarize all of this in a weekly newsletter that you can find at itnic.net. So just, find these resources, connect with us. And if you find any of the stuff that we're producing interesting, then feel free to consume it and stay in the loop. Thank you all for coming. Thanks also to the people on the table. We have Alberto Domingo, Juan Rodriguez, and Bernard Ferrero, myself, partners at ITNIC, and we also have a guest today who is Antonio Vidiega, who is also a partner of the group. So thank you all for coming, and see you next Thursday.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.